new trees into the forest, we say, Iola oi, iola makoni. When you live, I live. That's what it translates to. Your health, your well-being is my health, is my well-being. The health of the deer we work with, that's our health. The health of the communities, the ranchers, the farmers, that's our health. The health of a forest, that's our health. It's our responsibility to manage them, to restore balance. There are things that we're working towards that we don't even know yet. We don't know what. We have intact forest on a very small scale. So we cannot even fathom what it will be, not just for us, but all of our communities being the people we share space with and the plants and species that we share space with. All of that isn't possible if we don't find a balance for species like axis deer in Hawaii.
If you don't have the passion for what you're doing, you'll never be very good at it. Guys that want to work all night long, they can see that they're going to make a benefit on the environment.
Aloha everyone, and mahalo for joining us for this special series in partnership with Hawaiian Airlines, Meet the Makers, where we will introduce you to our island's rising entrepreneurs and their unique products. I'm your host, Melly James, co-founder of Mana Up, a business program to help Hawaii companies grow and scale globally with the mission to expand the local economy and create jobs for locals. We're coming to you from one of Hawaii's hottest restaurants, Miro in Kaimaki, a quaint neighborhood here on Oahu, which is home to coffee shops, local boutiques, and trendy restaurants, including the one we're in now. We're also about a 10-minute drive away from Waikiki, where you'll find House of Mana Up, our retail shop that features all local products made by the entrepreneurs who participated in our program. In this episode, we're highlighting the awesome and sustainable work that local company Maui Nui Venison is doing to manage the axis deer population here in the islands. Plus, we'll learn kitchen secrets from Miro Kaimaki owner and head chef Chris Kajioka on how to cook with venison. I've dined at Miro Kaimaki a few times, but there's nothing like getting a private cooking lesson from a local award-winning chef. So needless to say, I'm excited to be here. For our viewers today, our friends at Hawaiian Airlines Bank of Hawaii World Elite MasterCard are rewarding card holders with 5 times the Hawaiian miles for every dollar you spend, either at houseofmanaup.com or manaup.com or in store from today until Friday, July 21st. For this episode only, we're also offering the opportunity to enter for a chance to win a Maui Nui Venison butcher box valued at $295, which includes 6 pounds, that's 6 pounds, of venison cuts that Chef Chris will be cooking with today. In addition, another lucky winner will receive 15,000 Hawaiian miles, which can be good for an inter-island trip in Hawaii. Stay tuned until the end to see if you're one of the lucky winners, and be sure to scan the QR code on your screen to enter for your chance to win. I couldn't be more happy to have the co-founders of Maui Nui Venison with me here, Jake and Ku'ulani Muise, who flew in from the island of Hawaii and participated in our second cohort. Hi guys, nice to see you both. Hugs. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so Jake, can you share a little bit more on your experience going through the Mana Up program?
That was 5 years ago now. I think it was really important for us at that stage of our growth to learn basic business principles, and it really did help us grow and take like the next steps to help scale what we're doing here for sure.
Awesome. And I remember us going to Expo West together.
Oh my God. And we had like the tiny little sliver booth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, so just as a reminder, we are live, so if you want to learn more, be sure to leave a comment below and ask our makers anything. Anything's on the line. They're gonna answer it.
Anything?
Almost anything.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah, we've like light filters. But I love how deeply connected Maui Nui Venison is to our land here in Hawaii. So, Ku, can you tell us a little bit more about the mission of the company?
Mission, balance. It's always been about balance. How to take the overabundance of Maui's access deer and bring it into better balance for our communities, human and otherwise ecological communities, our food producers, our ranchers, and our farmers. And then secondly, how to channel all of that overabundance into delicious, rich food source for those same communities and for our growing ohana of customers. So,
And it's a pretty growing ohana of customers.
it is.
Right?
Yeah, we're so grateful, yeah.
So how many years has the company been in business?
The harvest side of what we do, like developing those systems, has been in the works for 10, 12 years now. And what we know of as Maui Nui Venison, I think really started at around the same time as Manop, so 5 or 6 years ago.
All right, so speaking of mission, I can't wait for you all to learn more about the story behind how access deer first made their way to Hawaii and what Maui Nui is doing to manage this invasive species here in the islands. So we'll toss it up to that clip.
I don't think that there's an invasive species problem any greater than the axis deer issue.
It's catastrophic. All of this open space is compromised if we can't address the threats like deer.
The changes to the quality of the watershed have been quantified. The threat is very real.
You gotta think outside the box, and you gotta remember that everything ties to everything.
Hawaii is ideally suited for the cultivation of axis deer. They already live a stress-free life in that there's no predators, there's no seasonal stresses, and the way that we source and harvest them is stress-free as well. The family on Molokai that introduced me to these animals saw extraordinary value in them. That's where my relationship with them started. That's what has created the management strategies. It started from a place where we've found value in these animals and we love these animals and they provided incredible nutrition for our families, and we wanted to find a way to better manage them so that they weren't wasted.
What we really want to do, what the goal is, to call things, to name things what we want them to be. This is a food resource. This is food.
Maui Nui is never going to have sales goals. We'll only ever have management goals because each group we work with is so different and each group will find different value in different population levels.
Wow, all right. Well, when it comes to feeding local people, Maui Nui Venison is really taking that to a whole nother level. Honoring the land and giving back to the land that feeds our people. And we're here with the founder who started it all, well, one of the founders, Ku'u. I'd like to welcome also Chef Chris Kajioka. Thanks for having us here at your lovely restaurant.
Pleasure.
Yeah. And sometimes you guys might hear something going by, but that's because we're on Wailea Avenue.
That's the bus.
And the bus is going by. Like, this is all very real. So Chris is a Honolulu native who trained at the prestigious Culinary Institute of America and went on to work at iconic restaurants from San Francisco to New York City. He later moved back home and is probably best known for opening restaurant Senia and barmaze and some other bunch of others, and I can't say them all. Agaru.
Agaru.
Where was Agaru?
It's in Waikiki.
Oh, is it
just
still
opened.
around?
Yeah, it just opened.
Oh, it
Yeah,
just opened.
yeah.
Well, that's real.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of food is it?
It's an izakaya.
Oh, all right. Awesome. You guys have to check it out. I wonder if it's near our store. Is it near Royal Hawaiian Center?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's on Royal Hawaiian Avenue.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So he's also a semi-finalist of several categories of the James Beard Foundation Awards. We're so honored to be here at Miro, where he's the owner and head chef. So aloha, Chef Chris.
Yeah, thank you. So,
All right. So, so we're really excited to get started here with the cooking. We're just cooking with some deer, some venison here. And of course, one of my favorite snacks is here. So while you're cooking, I may start snacking on venison stick, which we'll talk about in a little bit. This is actually the best source of protein when I'm on the go. I always have a couple in my purse, just so you guys know. I literally will be like, shoot, I'm in the car in between meetings. I got to snack on something. So that's been wonderful to have, either after a swim or whatever. So I may just actually get started. So, Chef, can you tell us what you're starting to make here and what kind of venison that you're using?
So this is it's a very simple recipe, but actually one of my favorite recipes. We're using just the ground venison in this one. So I think people have a perception that venison is gamey, but really it's probably the opposite. It's probably some of the cleanest meat, cleanest tasting meat. It's very lean. Which obviously goes great with tartare. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of the ground venison here. Adding, essentially, we gave you the recipes, but this is like a chimichurri. So it's a bunch of herbs. There's some ginger, garlic, kind of like a salsa verde or pesto. So flavors that go well, garlic, also salt, a lot of salt.
So is there key elements in a tartare? You have to have like a citrus,
I think something herbaceous, something earthy. I love garlic as well, just because the venison, because it's so clean, you can add. It's a good carrier of flavor, so it takes flavor very well. Especially this cut, it's definitely very lean. And also, what I do too is, normally you don't do this, but because it's raw, what I do is I torch it very lightly. So you kind of have the half cooked with the raw. So obviously the aroma comes out, but also some of the fat. So I think that's really important.
Wow, it looks amazing.
So traditionally, you eat this with, people put egg yolks on this. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna serve it on bread. It's like a sourdough bread that's been grilled. So I'm just gonna make one real quick.
All right. So while you're finishing up, I'm obviously eating my snack. So cool. We're learning that venison is one of the healthiest and cleanest meats out there. Can you really tell us a little bit more why?
On Maui, in particular, the access deer on Maui, we're learning more and more that the volcanic soils on the leeward Haleakala side are really, really nutrient dense. They're also wild grazers, and they're intelligent wild grazers, so they're able to choose from an overabundance of feed. Their athleticism lets them go wherever they need to go, eat whatever they need to eat, and there's remarkable plant diversity, so all of that translates into really nutrient dense meat, venison.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they kind of just know where to go. They're like, I'm kind of feeling I need some more parsley.
Yeah. Jake tells a story of watching them go down a fence line and jump over a 6-foot fence just to eat the same species of plant on the other side, just kind of picking and choosing what they want to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish we knew how to do that naturally, right? Make better decisions.
So good.
All right, well, you'll see Chef Chris is using Hawaiian sea salt and salted macadamia nuts in this dish. The cool thing about these ingredients is that they're from Big Island-based Mana Up companies, Sea Salts of Hawaii, who's based in Kona, and Island Harvest, who's based in Kohala. So, speaking of which, you can also snag these products along with a few others you'll see in today's episode at houseofmanaup.com. Just scan the QR code on your screen and be sure to continue asking your questions for today's makers in the section comments below. All right, so what do you love most about cooking with Maui Nui Venison, Chef Chris?
I think it's so clean. I think, like I said, everyone has the perception that venison is gamey, but it's really the opposite. So it's really a great carrier of flavor, as well as, it's from here, so It's not very often where someone can say we're using a world-class product and it's right here. So very, very lucky.
All right, well, it looks like we're just about done here. This looks amazing. So I think you were saying you added garlic, sea salt, and some more herbs.
A ton of herbs. What I did was on the bottom, I added a little sesame aioli just for richness, and then I grated the mac nut on top, just for texture, but also richness as well. And then it's garnished with a little mizuna, so spicy.
And is this offered on the menu here?
It's not presently, but we do offer this to the bar a lot. Yeah, so
that means you heard it here first, guys. Hit the bar at Cafe Miro. All right, so we're gonna be trying this here. Okay, are you ready?
I'm so excited. I'm standing.
Okay, we'll have to do it nicely. This is where we have to. Did you ever get trained to how to eat on camera?
I'm not trained.
Amazing. Well, this is super delicious. Can't wait for you guys to come down here and try it. And now, if you're wondering how venison makes its way from forest to table, you're in luck. In this next clip, you'll learn more about the access deer process and how Maui Nui Venison makes the harvesting process stress-free and sustainability. So let's cut to it.
There's more oversight to what we do than any other red meat species. Not only do we have to have an inspector with us the entire time to make sure the process is humane, after that inspector has viewed our entire process and made sure those animals are healthy, then a USDA veterinarian also has to come in for every single animal, check all of the remains of that animal to ensure they're healthy, check that those animals have been harvested humanely. Then only after 2 USDA personnel looking at every single animal are we allowed to stamp it and it's considered safe for human consumption. Those animals on a daily basis have a choice of hundreds of different plant species to eat, and they're constantly varying that based on their own health. So when we eat that animal is easily one of the healthiest red meat species on the planet.
All right, wow, Jake. It's super cool to see the incredible process your team is dedicated to that goes behind all about putting the venison on the table. That was just so incredible. You're hand carrying. Do you actually hand carry yourself? How many pounds is a normal venison?
A deer can weigh anywhere from 100 to 200 pounds, and it can be nice pasture to razor sharp lava that you're walking over. So yeah, nights get interesting.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're excited to see what Chef is cooking up next. How about you? All right. Okay, so Chef, what cut of venison are we using up next?
So this is the round, and again, very tender, but what we do is, sorry for the smoke.
We're
sorry. Basically, we shave it very thin and treat it like teriyaki beef. So what we do is we just marinate it in a basic teriyaki with a little sesame oil and grill it like how you would at any barbecue. So obviously.
Do you do this table side at every table?
We do.
Do you seriously?
Yeah, no.
That sounds kind of dangerous.
They'll charge extra for that. Yeah. So I mean, normally you just want to get this extremely hot. I love cooking over charcoal or wood just because it's more flavor.
Awesome.
Any particular wood?
I mean, kiawe is great just for the smokiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, we're just making a sandwich. It's a venison, kind of a teriyaki venison sandwich that I don't think anyone has an issue with that, right?
Yeah, no issue. And you really can't screw it up, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Ideally. All right, so Jake, while Chef is preparing this dish more, can you tell us a little bit more about the venison sticks that I was so gracefully snacking on earlier?
One of our favorites, and admittedly, we made them for our kids. It's that super easy snack that you need. Trying to get 10 grams of protein and only 50 calories is almost impossible anywhere else. That's that's a protein drink otherwise. So just like you said, having those handy and having them ready to go, it's only made of venison. It's the only product on the market where it's venison only. So it's a family favorite. It's a it's some of our customers' favorite as well, and we just have lots of people that are using it as a staple protein source. So super excited.
Yeah, it's shelf stable. We were really excited to be working with you folks on this because it's such a great snack, especially when people are getting gift sets or looking for something healthy.
Well, and it's when you don't have an amazing chef with you, sometimes like it's the easiest way to introduce people. If they're a little bit nervous to try it, you give them the stick and they're like, oh, wait a second, this thing's amazing. And then sometimes that'll lead to them wanting to like try a sandwich or try something else. So it's a great way for people to like try if they haven't had venison before.
It's like an elevated, really healthy Slim Jim.
We
Or is
don't
that
like
weird to
the
say?
word Slim Jim, but very elevated.
Very elevated.
Very,
extremely.
very elevated. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so Chef, how are we doing here?
We're doing good. Just getting more color. Again, the venison, you could eat it right now, obviously, but obviously the more color you get, the more flavor. So just waiting on that, and then just toasting the buns.
Oh, that smells good.
Can you share more about how you found your experience working with venison in the kitchen, and how does that compare to beef?
I think the first time I used it was probably about four years ago.
Yeah.
Because we were trying it out, and the first time I used it, I was very apprehensive just because I've had venison that's extremely gamey, and I think people in Hawaii have a hard time with that, but tried it and was blown away, and it's kind of been part of our repertoire at the restaurant for a long time now. But with respect to beef, I would say closer to a lean cut of beef, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely irony, but it's just much more tender, I think. You said it really depends on what they're grazing on, right?
Well, one of the big differences too is all of the work that we do is at night, and the animals aren't under any stress. And stress directly impacts flavor, texture, a lot of different things within like the profile of meat. So what you may get from a hunter may not be stress-free harvesting compared to what we're doing, and that's something you can really taste. Is like some of what we do within our harvesting is something that like translates into how delicious this is.
It
Yeah.
also affects the color, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When there's stress.
Oh, the stress?
Yeah.
What color is it when it's
It can change it to like dark reds or like lighter
Purple?
pinks. Yeah. So, and the stress-free harvesting systems that we built are the only ones in North America. So this is like the only place where an animal goes through the harvesting process and is truly stress-free. When we go to harvest an animal, if it's scared or nervous, whatever, it just runs away, and we don't get an opportunity to harvest that animal. So it really does translate to really quality food and protein, and that's actually something that we see in our testing as well, is very low levels of oxidative stress, and that translates to healthier meat as well too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, you'll see here, Chef Chris is using Hawaiian sea salt again and Hawaiian coffee grounds in this dish. The coffee comes from another Big Island-based Mana'up company, Big Island Coffee Roasters, and here Chef Chris is using the Hawaiian Harmony coffee. As a reminder, you can snag these products along with a few others you'll see in today's episode at houseofmana'up.com. Just scan the QR code on your screen. All right. All right, we're still cooking this up here.
Yeah, we're just finishing it. So just putting the meat on a toasted bun. We put a little pickles just for that acid, and kind of a little basic burger sauce.
Nice.
You can definitely add cheese, but I don't think it needs it.
Doesn't need it. Doesn't need anything. Also be sure to get your hands on an incredible deal from Maui Nui Venison on their butcher box featuring the venison leg medallions Chef used here, plus some tenderloins. Jake, can you tell us more about the butcher box and the value our viewers are getting with the box here today?
A really good value. Just wanted to be able to like provide a great discount and like through both of you guys, but that leg medallion that you're gonna cut it up nice and thin just like this, and just like Chef showed, it's really easy to cook it up, and you can make exactly what he did just here. So yeah, we're hoping lots of folks, after seeing how easy it is to make, will give it a try.
All right, right in your own home. You can snag the butcher box at houseofmana'up.com and by scanning the QR code on your screen. All right, looks like it's time to dig in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have to share?
Nice. You can eat it. It's okay.
Oh, no.
I'll trust you in telling us how awesome.
So I get to make this giant. All right.
Yeah, you just got to go for it.
Oh, I'm going for it for sure.
It's also because I have to talk. So if I eat a big bite, then I'm kind of done for a few minutes. Okay.
So good.
Seems like it's really good.
You want to like?
No, I'm good.
You want to try like the back?
What are the tastes exploding in your mouth? Or this is like
Good,
I
right?
think it's so good.
It's all good.
Again, I think what's shocking for most people, I luckily eat a lot of venison, like that first bite is it's so soft.
Yeah.
And most people would assume it's not because it's such a lean meat. So that first bite is so soft and then it just makes it like so easy to eat. And then never had it with pickle. That's really good.
Yeah, the acid is good.
Yeah. That's a
cuts
really
through
nice
it.
like contrasting taste. It's delicious.
What kind of wine would you pair with this?
Beer.
Oh, beer. Sorry.
Beer.
Oh, beer. Okay. What kind of beer?
Something that you can drink a lot of. Right? Golf course beer.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Maybe some Bud Light or something.
There we go.
All right. Well, looks like it was an insane burger here. And just as a reminder for everyone interested in getting the special gift set featured in today's episode, we're rewarding all the Hawaiian Airlines Bank of Hawaii World Elite MasterCard members out there with a 5 times Hawaiian miles for every dollar you spend at House of Mana Up, either online or in store. From today until Friday, July 21st, take advantage of this perk now. Also be sure to enter our giveaways of a Maui Nui Venison butcher box and 15,000 Hawaiian miles courtesy of Hawaiian Airlines. Just scan the QR code on your screen now. Up next, we're going to learn about the importance of the ecosystem and why Maui Nui's mission is helping to create a better future for Hawaii. Let's cut to that clip.
Nearshore water quality is a big issue. The reefs of South Maui have been formally designated as impaired because of runoff. The entire Southwest Maui watershed points to the proliferation of axis deer as one of the primary reasons for that. The diversity of the Hawaiian watersheds is critical to their functionality. The introduction of invasive animals threatens that diversity tremendously. You replace a diverse mixture of herbs, shrubs, subcanopy, and canopy species with a monoculture, you're asking for trouble. It became clear that ecosystems don't observe land ownership boundaries, but it's part of a whole. These areas need to be managed with an eye towards the whole. The fact that we've migrated our control program to something that's proactive, that works, and that holds promise for the future, I think was a huge step for us in not only meeting a current and terrible invasive species problem, but also being true to our commitment to take care of the issues that affect us and threaten us.
The sourcing methods we've designed were designed with what was best for the animal in mind. From working at night instead of day, which is the least stressful for the animal, moving our mobile processing facilities from site to site every single night, going to all of the lengths to ensure we're collecting enough data and we have all of the right equipment to make sure they're sourced under stress-free conditions. And in the end, having this animal be viewed as a food resource, maybe instead of an invasive species, is what's best for the animal.
Lead, take a lead. Yeah. On him.
There's this word that we use here, it's a Hawaiian word, kuleana, and it's kind of this deep sense of personal and professional responsibility. And you know, your job isn't limited to just moving this herd or just planting these trees. It's this greater goal and ambition to keep this space open and to keep the character of Hawaii, especially on these neighbor islands, keep it country. And it means we need to succeed at what we do.
We'll harvest a mature animal. That animal is then carried on somebody's back. And there's like a very interesting connection that comes with, at the end of that animal's life, you hand carrying that thing to the next stage of its life, which is food.
Wow, it's super incredible. That last scene was showing them carrying the venison. It's like 100 to 150 pounds. That's some real stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, seeing that video is just another reminder of how important it is to help balance access deer populations for our environment, communities, and food systems. Okay. So for the final dish, Chef Chris, what are we making here? And the final cut of venison you're using today.
So basically we're using tenderloin. So it's obviously, there's only one small tenderloin per animal. So it's more of a luxury cut. So we're just maybe doing it more of an appetizer. So again, venison, because it's so low fat, you want to cook it more medium rare, just because the more you cook it, the more chewier it becomes, more drier it becomes. So here, just crusted it, just salt and pepper, and just grilling it again over the charcoal. Awesome. Just building flavor.
I like it. All right, so we're just watching and waiting and smelling. It's so good. So Ku'u, you must have a whole cookbook of venison recipes. Can you share, some of your favorites?
I can't take credit for anything really ono coming out of our kitchen. We use our website's library. So this growing library of recipes that is curated, and many of them are created by our culinary director, Jordan Kabatek. We love you, Jordan. And so a lot of our favorites just come from the website itself. Our favorite is her creamy miso mushroom medallion. And so we just follow us on the website. I don't riff too much. I mix some chilies and some curries, but for the most part, we're learning alongside everybody.
So that's so nice. When people get the butcher box, they just have this incredible resource of fabulous recipes to pull from. That's awesome. All right, so Chef, we've tasted a lot of venison dishes already, but they haven't been gamey at all. So any tips for more like preparing this access deer? You were mentioning earlier cooking it slow, but also kind of once you pull it off of the grill, are there any tips around that?
Just resting. Obviously, whenever you grill meat, you want to rest it. But again, the venison is such a good carrier of flavor. So if you have a favorite spice blend or marinade, it's perfect because it's such a clean meat. It carries the flavor very, very well.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I guess we're getting ready to dig in here pretty soon. So Ku'u, can you share a little bit more on where did you grow up in Hawaii?
I grew up in Molokai.
Wow.
So deer on the table almost every night, yeah.
And do they have a similar challenge with many access
Absolutely.
deer?
It was introduced to Molokai first, so they have probably the largest standing population right now. Yeah.
So you're born and raised there. Did you come over to Oahu, or how did you and Jake meet?
We met on Molokai.
Oh my God, that's so wow.
Yeah, it's funny.
What was he doing there?
He was hanai by a family on Molokai, so we met there one summer, and yeah.
That's so lovely. I've only been to Molokai once.
It's a super special place, yeah.
It was. We got to get the bread there too. That famous bread shop. And actually, one of our Mana'ap entrepreneurs is from there, Pomahina, Kanoe Davis. I'm sure you guys know each other.
Oh, look at that.
All right. So we can see that Chef is sprinkling some Hawaiian sea salt.
Hawaiian sea salt, yeah.
All right. And so that's a Mana'ap company. They're based in Kona, and they've got this incredible sea salt whole area right on the water. It's just a really, really fun thing to do when you're in Kona, right by the airport.
So I'm basically just garnishing it with some ricotta. It has bacon in it. Some grilled maitake mushrooms. You can use any type of mushroom. Local turnips, and then I'm just sprinkling on the top. It's just dried dates, kind of a vinaigrette. So very simple, but I think it's tasty.
Got either hand.
Yeah.
Cool, you can try it.
There you go.
I'll have a little bit.
Just
try to get a little of with the ricotta.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this dish on your menu?
Not currently, but maybe.
All right. Maybe after
Holy
today.
moly.
You heard it here first.
Very.
Is it
Really
good?
good.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Love it. So you can see behind us here, Chef Chris has an awesome bar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alcohol is good.
Yeah. So besides beer, what else pairs well with venison?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
More venison.
More
More venison,
venison.
there
All
we go.
right, all right, all right. All right, so now that, Jake, you can try some too. All right, so are we ready now that we are eating some venison here? Are we ready to answer some awesome questions from the audience? So Jake, I know you and Ku'u met in Molokai, but you were here, you were here at UH, right?
Yeah, I got to play volleyball for the University of Hawaii. I was previously in northern Canada, so when given the opportunity to like come on my recruiting trip and see the Stan Sheriff Center, and they handed me like my first pair of board shorts, it wasn't a tough decision. And then, like Ku'u mentioned, I got really lucky. Family from Molokai, my best friend hanai'd me like my first day in the dorms, and so I was just so lucky to get to kind of grow up again on Molokai, you know, as those pretty formative years. So yeah, I consider myself really lucky to have had that, been a part of that family.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really special. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be going from live. So our viewers, there's still time to enter to win our 2 grand prize giveaways. Just scan the QR code on your screen. Okay, so our first question coming in, I'll be in Maui in November. Is it available for purchase there? And if so, where? This is coming from Jane.
Yes. I think the best way to do it, because it's growing so quickly, is we have a store locator on the website where you can go and figure out where it is, and there's several amazing restaurants working with there, and you also in November be able to pick it up at our location on Maui as well. So yes.
Awesome. Okay, so this is a question from Roxanne. Is it good on skewers?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think any application that beef would be very similar. Like kebabs, definitely be very similar. Again, it marinates very well.
Okay, great. All right, so next question. And this is from Megan from Lahaina. I have never tried venison before. What would be a good introductory product for me to try? Like which cut or?
I mean, you can speak to this better, Chef, but I think for somebody unfamiliar, taking ground and just any regular ground recipe, like spaghetti, lasagna, anything super, and you just swap it out for beef with the exact same recipe, and I think you'd be really surprised how good it is and how little you notice the difference. Yeah.
All right, we got lots of questions coming. I got to keep it short because it's a lot. These are like literally piling in. All right. Oh, this is for Chef.
Yep.
How have you been incorporating Maui Nui Venison into Miro's menu? This is Chris from Los Angeles. And in addition, you have other restaurants. And is that something as an option or opportunity with some of your other
Absolutely.
themes?
You know, again, the tartare is a mainstay here. I think people are I'm very proud to serve it as raw because, again, it speaks to the farming, you know, how they're treated, because it's like fish, right? If you stress the fish or if you don't handle the fish well, you're gonna see it in the end product, right? So if you serve a tartare, then you're obviously proud of the way it's been handled throughout the process, right? So we're very, very proud to serve the tartare. Again, you don't think that it's gonna be so clean, but it's delicious.
Thank you. Okay, question coming in from Keanu from Kapalua. Congratulations on Fast Company's 2023 list of the world's most innovative companies, which is huge, so congratulations.
Thanks.
Can you talk a little bit about how you guys are continuing to innovate and grow?
Continuing to innovate and grow.
Can you get even more innovative?
More
Is
innovative.
that possible?
I think when we got the award, I was thinking about innovation and recognizing innovation fitted to place. So we live with this rich history of aquaculture and all of these really super abundant agricultural practices in our ancient past, and how do we continue to look at our places and figure out how to innovate fitted to place? What works here? You guys are always making new systems every single day, so.
But I think that's what's so interesting is like innovation is constant. And so when you're dealing with a wild animal, you're constantly innovating to match like how they're changing home range or how communities are changing, or there's just so many like different dynamics that go into it. So it's a constant thing that we do, and it's something we you know, we take a lot of pointers from previous innovation here in Hawaii, which was pretty incredible. So, yeah.
Well, it's pretty incredible just what you guys have even done as you've helped continuing to problem solve, right? So as you know, we have to have USDA certified mobile slaughterhouses. Was that a thing when you folks started?
Oh no. Well, and in problem solving, I think we're one of the few companies. We want to get smaller. Like, we don't want to get bigger. We don't want to like
If
have
we're
more
a true
rent.
solution,
Yeah,
they're going to need us less and less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we'll have to problem solve for like when we find balance, what do great mission partners look like, and how do we continue to work within our communities and make sure like we take venison down to the food banks every month. So it's complex, but it's so fun and so rewarding to constantly be problem solving.
And that was incredible during the pandemic when you folks really contributed so much venison to the food banks and just filling all of those.
I think being community members is you know, first and foremost, and so that was an easy choice. Yeah.
Okay, so next question from Lana from Big Island. Chef, I saw you opened a restaurant in Japan.
I did.
Can't wait to try it. Can you share more about that one?
Just opened 2 months ago. I opened the restaurant in Kyoto. It has 10 seats, which is kind of a chef's dream, in a place where you know the history of everything is so deep, right? So it's it was a privilege. It's an honor for me to open it, and I was there for probably the first 2 months. But it's good to be back home. I never thought I'd get sick of Japanese food, but I did. but you know, it's always been a dream of mine to do it because the culture and the everyone's a foodie there, you know. So it's been fun.
That's wonderful. So are a lot of people coming in because they just follow you for so long,
Yeah.
and a lot of people aren't coming to Hawaii quite yet. A lot of the Japanese.
Yeah, but Hawaii has such a rich pipeline of Japanese, and you know, I've been fortunate to have a good following of Japanese clients. So, you know, it's good to see them in two places. You know, Miro, and they also go to Kaji. So it's cool.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So how many restaurants do you have now? Right now?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Wow. Had no idea.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to sit down afterwards. Okay, we have another question here. Where can we find Maui Nui Venison on the mainland? This is from Jacob from Seattle.
Again, I'm going to default to our locator there, which like helps do that. But we work with some really, really unique restaurants there as well. Restaurant Olivia in Denver does like some amazing work. The easiest way to find it will be there, and that will grow really quickly over the coming months as well too. We have
And
lots.
then just directly on the website if you want it
Yeah.
delivered straight to your door.
Yeah.
That's where you can find it, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So is venison kind of growing as a natural trend? Just as we normally are seeing fish, pork, beef,
We hope
chicken, but is like that, are you seeing that more as a trend?
I think definitely because it's in Hawaii, it's something that's been sustainable, right? It's like something that it's rich here, right? So, you know, we're not taxing the environment necessarily. So, I think that's trendy, right? Being more sustainable and using something that's from the land.
We have two really interesting customer base. We have like the person that recognizes the nutrient density and how much quality there is in a very low amount of calories, and so they're really focused on health. But we also get like a vegan a week that reaches out and says, I haven't eaten meat in 15 years and I feel okay doing it again because of like why we're harvesting these animals. And so those are two very different people, but they both connect really strongly with what we're doing. Yeah.
And then you have me who just thinks it's good.
Yeah. And then you have like, it's just delicious.
Both sides of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start eating meat. I want to eat this because it's clean and it's done right.
Yeah.
And it's just good.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What was it like for Jake and Ku'u? What was it like hearing Joe Rogan shout out Maui Nui Venison on his podcast?
Wish we were a little better prepared.
It broke our website.
Yeah, it broke everything. I think it's, Joe is somebody that has such a huge voice, maybe the biggest on the planet at this point. And so it was an honor, and it certainly helped with a great bunch of exposure for us. But we're just as excited when we hear great things from a chef or Chris or somebody else. But we've been really lucky to have some great people eating our venison, which is fun, a lot of fun.
A lot of new people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a question from Danielle. Is there any type of venison to look for in a butcher shop? Is there a particular cut that we would see more likely in a butcher shop?
I think it really depends what you're trying to make, right? I mean,
We have a really good selection of like really easy to use, fast to cook, and then we've got a selection of cuts that are like more difficult to work with, like shanks and ossobuco, that like can create some amazing, really deep flavors, but you kind of need to know what you're doing. There's a great selection within the butcher shop.
All right, so next question is, we've got Dan from Texas. Is there a way to tell good quality versus bad quality of venison when you're in the butcher shop or at a store?
I think color. I think color, again, talking about how the animal is treated, I think oftentimes when you stress an animal, it oxidates the meat. But also too, you can speak to how long the meat's been probably not consumed. It oxidizes as well, the color. So I would say color.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so for our final question, Jordan Kamara says, aloha from Hilo.
Hi, Jordan. She's watching our
She's
show.
watching
And
kids
Jake
right now.
Yaku, your keiki, say hi, mom and dad.
Hi, babes.
They're coming in hot. All right. Well, I want to thank you both for being here, and thank you, Chef, for having us at your amazing restaurant. And of course, thank you for answering all the questions from our viewers. All right. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to announce the winners of our 2 giveaways. So the winner of the Butcher Box valued at $295 is Roxanne R. Congratulations, that is huge. And the winner of the 15,000 Hawaiian miles is JC R, who's winning the 15,000 Hawaiian Airlines miles. So congratulations, JC. And we'll reach out to you to redeem your prize. Well, mahalo everyone for tuning in. We had an awesome time transporting you all here to Miro, Kaimaki, and a huge mahalo to Jake and Ku'ulani. Thank you so much for being here today. And the behind the scenes look at Maui Nui Venison, and of course, Chef Chris for sharing his kitchen secrets. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
Remember, you can still get this featured gift set you saw on this episode. Get yours now at houseofmanaup.com or scan the QR code here. All right, so next month, we're taking you behind the scenes at one of Hawaii's largest marketplaces, the Made in Hawaii Festival. Stay tuned. To RSVP for the episode, head to our Meet the Makers page or scan the QR code on your screen. Mahalo again for joining, everyone. Until next time. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.